there, I'm Katie Brown and welcome back to part 2 of the Memorising content module of this course. In this video, we're going to drill down into defining mind maps, how to create mind maps of your own, and tips and tricks to help mind maps work for you. Mind maps are an awesome and fun way of learning and remembering things. And even better, it's incredibly useful in recalling all of the information that you've absorbed. In short, mind maps help you organise information visually so you can see an entire idea, or in our case, a syllabus chapter or a syllabus dot point, drawn out on a single page and broken down to its most important parts. If you haven't seen one before, they look something like this. It looks pretty impressive, doesn't it? And don't be daunted by it either, it's actually really fun to make. Just remember, no two people will have the same type of mind map, and it's okay to have different ways as long as they cover the right amount of content. In the case of the syllabus dot point, you want to make sure that all the facts and ideas that answer that dot point are addressed in your notes and your textbooks. So how do you go about building a mind map? Let's start with the example that we just showed you, strategies for taking action. This is your core idea or problem that you want to address. Another way of writing that is, what are the best strategies for me to take action on? Then the mind map becomes a way of visualizing and grouping the information that helps you answer that question. So we have our starting point, but now you want to start adding the answers. There are two ways that you can go from here. Method 1. You can add in the first branches of answers that you think are relevant. So you can have goal setting, pledges and commitments, rewards, etc. Or method 2. You can just pick one answer and dive deeper into that. Say the first thing that comes into your mind is goal setting. Then you can start digging deeper into this branch. Once you have the second layer of branches, you can decide if that needs further clarification. Then you can start adding branches to those points until you've covered it to the depth that you think is adequate. Either way, make sure you have as much information on hand as possible. Without that, your mind map wouldn't be complete and it wouldn't be as useful to you. If you choose to go with method 1, then your next step is to work out what your second layer of branches will be. You will need to work through each branch one by one and then start adding the next layer of branches in. The great thing about this is that it will force you to think about how all the information in your topic is related. You might even discover links that you didn't even realize existed. Mind mapping is by no means a passive exercise. You really need to start questioning yourself about how all the information is related to make that big picture complete. Some key tips about making your mind maps more effective includes leaning on your creativity. Use colours, shapes and images and anything you can think of to make that mind map your own. The more creative your mind map is, the better it will be for your brain to identify all the different things on the mind map. Another useful tip is that instead of just using A4 paper, go out and buy yourself an A3 art diary. What you'll find is that the A3 paper will provide you with ample space for mind mapping and help you add that juicy information, rather than worrying about sticking A4 pieces of paper together. Finally, mind maps are a great resource for you to create at the end of each completed textbook chapter. So for instance, if your business studies book had 12 chapters, think about creating a mind map for each of those chapters. Once you've created and absorbed those 12 mind maps, think about creating one big mind map that has all 12 mind maps in it. It's like mind map inception, and try and create this mind map without having to actively refer to your other 12 mind maps. This process will test your understanding and memory of the content. In the next video, we're going to explore mental models for learning and memorization. I'll see you there.